YouTube. How are you? I'm Veronica. This is
I'm Zenzla Hopper.
okay. The reason for this video today is to do an update on my container garden. It has been a couple of weeks now, and I've been so busy, but I found the time today to do a quick update. Well, let's hope it's quick. So we're gonna go ahead and get right to it to show you the progress.
And,
Go ahead.
okay. So right here, the okras,
No.
like black eyed peas.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait, sorry, that's it. But before I water these, I want to tell you guys to go check out my channel, Zenzla Hopper, my brother's channel, Sela Hopper, and my sister's channel, Live Life Erica, and no spaces between Live Life. So let's get this started. So I'm going to water the black eyed peas.
And as you can see, it has made little progress. I want to say that with with the black eyed peas, I did not use any fertilizer or any kind of special anything. I just simply followed the directions as far as planting it deep into the soil, or sowing the seeds very deep into the soil, because black eyed peas really thrive in heat. And so as the temperatures heat up during this spring season, it'll make the soil hotter and will encourage growth. So this is what's going on. I thought that maybe some of the black eyed peas had died, but when I took the time to like kind of dig through it, I saw that they were sprouting up. They just need a little bit more time. Okay.
And pretty much we spreaded them everywhere. So if the other black eyed peas make it, there'll be like this whole container full of it. Because my mom, she just wanted a lot of black eyed peas. So.
Okay, excuse me. Thank you, Zenzale. Okay, so right here, these are more black eyed peas. I just wanted to see, if they would sprout. These, well, actually, I thought they were tomatoes, but they're not. I believe that this is the turmeric root. Yeah, this is the turmeric root. These right here are flax seeds, and they're doing pretty good. I think they like to thrive in sun. Then I planted some more black eyed peas because whatever was in this pot wasn't growing, so I just decided to plant some more stuff. Yeah. Sorry about that. Somebody was talking to me, so I had to stop the video. And as you can see, these are the lima beans, and they're doing pretty good. I think what's going to have to happen is I'm going to have to put them in a bigger container. But for now, this will suffice.
You want me to water them?
Yeah, just give me a second. And these right here are okras. And so what I'm going to do when they get a little bit bigger, probably sometime in May, I am going to plant them in the ground in the front. These are my bush lake beans, and they are growing up and they're doing really good. Oh my goodness. And just looking at my sage from the other day, it is doing very well. Maybe I had to readjust it and put it somewhere, but they are doing very good. Hang on. Right here, we got a big old ant pile. I tend to not disturb them. As long as they don't come into my house, they don't bother me. I believe that we have to share the earth. I just don't mess with them. Now, as long as they don't attack my plants, we good, So I want to show you some things that I grew. Now, these are my tomato transplants. You remember that I had made a video starting the seeds. Well, what I did, I started those seeds and I set it under an LED light for a few weeks. Excuse me. And these was the results of it. And so what I did, I just planted it in a bigger container. And as I said, sometimes with gardening, you got to learn from your mistakes. Well, when I first started the sproutings, I set it directly out in sunlight, and what it did, it killed the original ones that I had started. So I just made sure that I placed it under the porch, as you can see. So they're sitting under the porch where they're getting sufficient sunlight, but not too much sunlight. I think they got to grow a little bit bigger before I can go ahead and place them in direct sunlight. The next thing are the cayenne peppers. I don't know if you remember seeing a video, and maybe I didn't do a video, but what I did is I started some cayenne peppers in cups, and I had them covered up. Hang on, I can show you one. This one ain't doing so well, but it was in a cup like this with the plastic on top to retain moisture and heat. So as a result, this is what it is. And again, once they're a little bit bigger and sturdier, I'm going to sit them out in the direct sunlight. But until now, this is where they will sit. And by the way, again, these are transplanted cayenne pepper. I can't wait to harvest these so I can show you ways on how to harvest. I am so looking forward to it. This is another plant, but this is not anything edible. But this is something that I had got from a flea market last year. I let it sit outside all year long, even during the winter months. And now it is thriving to the point that they're reproducing all on the ground. And then there was another pot that they had spread it to, and I just took that in the house, and I'll show you that later. Now, there are clovers growing in here, but if you look real close, that is a basil leaf. And this is the remnant of basil last year. What I plan to do is to take more basil seeds to like kind of turn the dirt over, pull out the old stems, and plant more basil into this pot. Okay, hang on one second. Previously I spoke about the okra, and I said that once they get a little bit bigger, I was going to plant them in the front yard. And this is my front porch. So all last year I had quite a few okra plants. So those little things you see, they're going to grow up to be maybe about that tall. So this is, like I said, remnants of last year's garden. But what I'm going to do is turn the ground over. I plan on turning the ground over sometime this weekend and planting tomatoes and okra and some other things. And I can't wait to start my cantaloupes. This right here was supposed to be carrots, but it doesn't seem. I see one little plant growing, and I'm not sure if that is carrots. But what I'm going to do is give it about another 2 weeks. If I don't see anything sprouting of it, I'm going to repurpose this pot. Have no idea what this is, but we shall see in time. Okay, we are in the interior of my house. These are house plants. This was actually lettuce. People, don't ever let your lettuce grow up like this. The proper way to grow lettuce is to, number one, constantly pick it. As you see new leaves sprouting, that's when you pick it. So that it can grow bunchy. And see what I did, like I said, I have been very busy, so I haven't been able to tend to things like I should, but hey, I gotta fix it. This is a vine plant that I've had for quite some time. It's doing pretty okay. This is a Christmas cactus. And Christmas cactus, they last for hundreds of years. This is one of those type of plants that if you take care of it, it will last. It will outlive you, actually. I've actually read where one Christmas cactus was like 3 generations old. So like 100+ years. This right here is catnip. This is the purple wandering Jew. This plant right here is called a purple heart. And of course, this is a clover, but there's a proper name for it. And honestly, I forgot it. Right now, my plants, they are asleep. And they tend to do this during the daylight hours. Sometimes that's an indication that the plant needs to be watered. And maybe a little plant food. Ran out of plant food. Haven't really had a chance to go get any, but that'll change soon. Remember I showed you the plant outside that I said that I got from the flea market? Well, this is part of that plant. I think this plant will actually do better outside. So I don't know. I'll probably place it back outside. This plant right here is sentimental to me because this was a plant, a peace lily from my Uncle Larry's funeral. And this one right here is one that my Aunt Bet gave me. And this one was actually one from my Aunt Beulah's funeral. But what happened was it got so cold that the whole entire plant died. And it was actually this big. But now this is what I'm working with. And even though it's not much, at least there is growth. So that makes me happy. I'm going to continue to monitor and to just keep my eye on it. The next thing is my pineapple plant. I actually bought this from Food Lion. So yeah, it looks as if this is dry. Maybe I need to move it because it's drying out. You want to make sure you don't overwater it, but it is a tropical plant, so yeah. And also there are some more plants that I had started from propagating. Again, this is part of the purple heart that I showed you up there. This is the purple heart plant. These are propagations of the Christmas cactus that I was telling you about. The snake plant, which is actually doing very good. And some more clovers. As you can see, they're wide awake. They're up and just reaching out to the sun, and I love that. This is another snake plant, and this is turmeric root, and I need to water this. I'm really, like I told you in previous videos, turmeric root takes a very long time to sprout or to grow. So yeah. Okay, I did a video a while back on propagating snake plants, and I believe this is the original. This is what I call the mother plant, and this is part of that plant because there were like 5 bunches of snake plants in this one thing, so I separate them so they can grow. And as you can see, this was part of the leaf that I had propagated, and these are the new growth from that. Sometimes plants, all they need is a little bit of space and their own little space when things become so compartmentalized. And this is also another part of that plant from the mother plant. And as you can see, there are new leaves coming in. This right here is my aloe vera plant. This young lady from Alabama, she shipped this to me to North Carolina. And when I first got it, oh my God, it was in such terrible shape because of the shipping and, boxes moving around and not treating it fragile. But I was able to get it to revive. And I don't even know what this is. But these right here are just little parts of plants that I got and just stuck it in the water. As you can see, these are the clovers. And even though they don't have roots, they are growing. They're still growing because I got them in water. So yeah. This is the update on the aloe vera plant. As you can see, it is not doing so well. So I'm probably going to take these out the window. Oh yeah. I found a little piece of spider plant on the ground. And I stuck it in the dirt and stuck it in the window. And there it is. Hopefully it will produce a lot. And I know sometimes it'll need to be planted. Like when the time comes, I'll put it in a bigger pot and it'll grow bigger and bigger. Sometimes these things take time. And what I love about gardening is that it teaches you patience. Okay, please excuse the mess, but we are in my room right now, and these are what you see before you is called a rose of Jericho. I wish I had enough time or like a time-lapse video that would show you how these plants open up. Right now it's closed up because it doesn't have the water in it. If I put water in it in about 30 minutes, it will be opened up. This right here is remnants of a plant that I really need to take the time to repot. And like I said, I'll make the time, but not today. This is also another rose of Jericho. And in the bottom of this Rose of Jericho, this is what we call moss agate. And I'm going to try to hold it up to the light so that you can see that it is transparent. And when you look into it, it appears to have moss in it. So that's one reason why I love these stones. But these stones are good for growth, for new beginnings. And so, particularly, especially in the hoodoo system, people use Rose of Jericho to resurrect or to replenish or restore love or their money, things of that nature. Sometimes people put, what is that stuff called? Pyrite into the Rose of Jericho to draw money and fortune to them. But I didn't do that because sometimes pyrite causes rust, and I don't think my plants need that. So, like I said, I use moss agate. Basically, kind of to support it, to keep the actual plant out of the water, but the roots to remain in the water. And these Rose of Jerichos did not require a whole lot of water. I can't even begin to tell you what kind of plant this is, but it's probably just something I got outside that grew in a pot, and then I just let it grow, and now it's kind of like, you know, like a hanging plant or a vining type plant. Okay, what else we have here? We have this is called the Christmas cactus. This is what I had in there earlier. I bought another one. These had red flowers on them, but maybe I don't have the right environment to support the flowers, but the plants are growing, and as you can see, they are sprouting new leaves, or I don't know what you want to call them, leaves or whatever, but they are growing and thriving, so I must be doing something right. Let me take the time to water this. This is my grandmother and grandfather holding me. Say, hey, Auntie Bruce. And we call him AKA Man Browns, AKA Big Daddy, but James Arthur Brown. And that's my little old big old head laying down there. Okay, moving right along. Over here, these are propagations or cuttings from other plants. This is the purple wandering Jew. It is not purple because it's probably because it's not getting sufficient sunlight. But as you can see, this is what it looks like. Like I said, I haven't really been tending to my plants like I should. I try to change the water out maybe every other day because you don't want stagnant water, which will produce algae. Again, from that plant that you saw in the other room, the vines, this is the cuttings from that. And these plants right here, these two plants are very near and dear to me because they were given to me by my great aunt. We call her little sister or little sister. So she gave me these, and it's time for me to place them in the soil, but like I said, I gotta make time to do that. Another snake plant and another one. This is one, me and my cousin, we named her Lizzie Ann or Liz Ann. Okay, this comes from one of her plants, so she cut one off and gave it to me, and as you can see, there are new ones growing in. And this is my lucky bamboo. Okay, I love this plant. Says to draw luck and all that good stuff, but we'll see. And this isn't really a real plant, but I had one like it and it died. But these plants, this is what, if it was real, it would be an air plant, which doesn't really require a whole lot of water. But every now and then, the real plant, you would have to dip it into water, take it out and pat it dry, and it will grow like that. But it actually feeds off of things in the air. Thank you again for taking the time to like and subscribe to my video. Thank you for all the comments, all the advice. Thank you for my 34 subscribers. I want to take this time out to give a shout out to Miss Janita Loving It for all of your support. I truly appreciate the love that you give me. Thank you. Please keep the comments coming. And I wish you nothing but the best on your garden. For everyone else, thanks again for subscribing to my channel. Please share. Please continue to encourage others to subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. And I'm going to do everything I can to make watching my YouTube channel worthwhile. Any suggestions, anything that you want to know, any advice, anything, please feel free to comment below. Thanks again. Have a good day. Peace and blessings.